Right, Tommy Energy, the age of addictions.
Addictions have always been a thing in this world, and it's inevitable people get them. Each generation has had a different set of ones affect them more compared to the next. Boomers were more addicted to cigarettes and alcohol, being the victim of the tobacco industry and having them pay off doctors to say things like this.
You know, this night work's kind of rough, isn't it? That's right. But a Camel's always a pleasure.
Yes, folks, the pleasing mildness of a Camel is just as enjoyable to a doctor as it is to you or me.
But hey, it's all good.
Yeah, man, it's crazy to think that back then they were paying doctors to tell you, go and smoke that cigarette. That's good for you, bro. That's insane. So many people would have got like cancer or like problems, like respiratory problems, health problems in general, just because of these doctors that have been paid off to go and lie. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Made it for that stress by beating their millennial children for asking them to get a toy. Millennials and Gen X are more addicted to alcohol and prescription drugs, and also posting the most cringe content you'll ever see on TikTok. I guess.
And they also do the little millennial pause as well at the beginning of videos. They'll start it and then just like keep it going for a second or two, and then start talking. I don't know why millennials do that.
I guess that's what happens when you were the victim of the generation that would beat you just because. You know what? If
yeah, fair enough.
Fun on their side of the internet, I'm happy for them. And of course, we end up with the dump of all that, which is Gen Z. But I think we're kind of different because before you had to do a little more searching in the past generations to get that addiction. You know, like have the money to buy a cigarette or alcohol. But now, because of the digital age, it's made it almost impossible for Gen Z to not have an addiction. The amount of people in Gen Z who just have an addiction casually and we act like it's normal is kind of insane. We were the first test group of the internet's effect on a younger generation, and now that everyone's on the internet 24/7, like 90% of people have an addiction because of the internet. So
it's true, bro.
All the ones that are getting
straight up, most of the addictions nowadays are internet based. That's the way I see it. Most of them are internet based.
Push and more amplified with us, I would say. And we could start off with food. Okay, food didn't start with us, and Gen Z isn't even the fattest generation. But because of online ads and social media ads, it's very easy to push. We haven't even paid a...
Bro, think about it. How many people do you know that are using Uber Eats or some other fast food delivery thing? Like, think about that for a second. And even the mukbangs as well. People are addicted to that, especially around my age. Like once you hit like uni or college, bro, I'm telling you, half the people are addicted to that. And they don't stop after that. I don't think they're ever going to stop at this point.
Attention to the thought of how many food delivery apps we have. Bro,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
I remember the most you could deliver to your house was a pizza. It would be late night, and if you were craving something and didn't want to drive to an actual physical location, your ass had to order some Domino's or Papa John's. I know it had to suck working at one of those places back then, because the amount of prank calls that would go viral on YouTube of people just trolling them was astronomical. Like this channel Ownage Pranks used to go A1 back in the day. Bro would spout the most stereotypical racist accent to a worker and ruin their day. And you don't even need the delivery apps anymore. If you just download the fast food apps, they get it delivered for you. You know, you got your Chick-fil-A's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Food, Chipotle.
What?
Wait, what? Yep.
What? We got nickel food? What, bro? What?
Believe it or not, that was a real delivery service.
Are you serious?
I wonder how such
how long was it up before it got taken down? That should not have been up, bro. That should not have been up.
Family-friendly thing could violate Apple's terms of service. And if you download one of these food apps, you can save like half your costs by using them. They make it easier than ever to get big backed because they'll give you the best deals ever that for some reason they don't offer if you don't order on the app. And quarantine at my biggest backers, I was trapping off that McDonald's app getting a free large fry with a $1 purchase. You got with 2 million McDonald's points who order basically
2 million McDonald's points? If I see someone with 2 million McDonald's points, I am grabbing them, bro. And I am taking them to a treadmill right then and there, bro. There is no reason for you to have 2 million points. Even in your lifetime, even a family that takes McDonald's, bro, they should not have 2 million in their lifetime. Collectively, that is insane, bro. That is insane.
basically every day for the past 4 years. At that point, do you get to meet Ronald McDonald or something? Because that has to deserve some type of reward. TikTok got to be the biggest influence for food nowadays, though. Because how many times have you seen a food spot on TikTok and it's near you? And you think to yourself, well, damn, now I gotta try to see what the hype is. With traveling nowadays, everyone's go-to when looking for food is going to TikTok to see what the people are saying is the best. I always think how insane Keith Lee's come up was, and it shows how big backed we really are. Because he quite literally will go to a food spot, give a review, and all it takes is a God damn, that's good. And the whole restaurant is fully booked up for the rest of the year.
It's
That's
true,
not a diss
bro.
either, by the way. You know?
And then he came to the UK as well. You tried some of the food that we got here. He was disappointed, bro. And it's not a good look for us. Every American I've seen that comes here, they hate our food, bro. It is not looking good.
You know what I'm saying? We F with Keith Lee over here. And then you got those mukbang videos that became popular where they're eating gargantuan masses of food.
Yeah.
I learned that some people watch these because they want to feel like they're literally eating the food, but their stomach can't take it, so they watch someone else do it. I don't know what.
That's actually, is that why people watch them? I just thought they watch them because they're talking and saying something like interesting or something. I didn't know people are watching it because they want to be eating that food. That is insane to think about. I never knew that, bro.
What the fuck is wrong
Never
with
knew
them?
that.
I just get sick and want to yak out a car window after looking at these. If you eating like this, you dead ass abusing your stomach wall lining. Next, we got vaping. For
Yeah,
all the
it's
people
true.
who watch me and vape, I just want to let you know you're bigger than the vape. So do me a favor and put it down for your health now and your future.
Exactly.
And pick up a cigarette like a real. I
No,
always
no,
find
no,
it
no,
so
never
insane.
mind. Never mind. Never mind. No. No, no, no. We don't have no, don't pick up no cigarette. Don't pick up no vape. Protect your lungs, guys. Protect your lungs. That's what I
Our
say.
generation was bombarded with PSAs about smoking and the harmful effects of it. Everyone ended up thinking we wouldn't be affected by it as much and be a much more healthy generation. Until they released flavors with the name Mango Cherry Freeze and Fortnite cards that no one knows the origin of to change minds instantly. I knew our generation was gonna be the most addicted to it when I would walk in the school bathroom and casually see two in a stall with clouds of smoke coming out of it. And you'd have some dude on lookout paying attention to the sound of the jingling of keys to tell if a staff
People on
member was
lookout is
around.
crazy.
Then they start fumbling around and waving the smoke around to try to hide it. I didn't even know how bad it was at first though, until I found out kids in elementary school are doing it too. As a kid in
Elementary, bro. What? Aren't you like 10 years old, buddy? 10 years old and you're vaping. What is going on? You're no older than this guy, you're vaping, bro.
Where the
What?
fuck are you getting the money to even afford that? Are you selling your rare Fortnite skins or something, then ordering them on eBay? According to statistics, 3.5% of middle schoolers in America vape as well.
That's
Low-key, we gotta
crazy.
bring back those scary anti-smoking ads. Because I remember when I was a kid being terrified of the thought of smoking. They would show the diagram of a healthy lung versus smoker lung, and I would have nightmares for the rest of the week. And no, you can't quit at any time. If you're somebody that has to sit there and reason with your friends like you're making a deal on Wall Street that you can, then let me introduce you to the last stage of grief, acceptance. It's okay to accept the fact that the rest of your friends are gonna live amazing, willingful lives until 80, 90, or 100. And at 40, you're gonna drop randomly in your kitchen after those mango cherry
Damn.
freeze chemicals reach your heart. And weed smokers, where y'all going? Cause y'all ain't safe for this either. In general, I think out of a
Yeah.
weed smoker and vape smoker, the weed smoker is usually more healthy. Mainly because the product doesn't have mysterious chemicals imported from a factory in Beijing. Nowadays, though, they be like
That is very true. If you're smoking, hey, at least the weed, you know where it's coming from, bro. The cigarettes and the vapes, do you really know what's going into them? You really? And can you name 3 things that go into cigarettes? I know there's like, I think I heard one time there's like rat poison or something. There's tarmac, something else. I know damn well no one can name any chemical that's in a vape. Bro, they're just making up, they're putting random letters together. They're jumbling up and just slapping on the label. You can't tell me anything in vapes are real, bro.
lacing the hell out of that weed, so I don't even know about that anymore. You could be picking
That
out
is
what
true,
you
lace
think is
weed
some
as well.
regulars off from your
None of
local
them are
dealer,
safe.
and it ends up being laced with fent, raccoon, and pee. The most annoying thing about weed smokers is they do the same thing as vape smokers, saying they can quit at any time, but they'll also argue with you, saying it makes them more productive, and they'll bring up successful people that do it as an example, like, I don't know, Snoop Dogg or Wiz Khalifa. The person saying it, though, 99% of the time is never productive. Like, you ask them what they did.
You can't say, oh, these men do it. And they're like, look at them, they're up in life. But you're not there. So why do you think you're the same, bro? At least fix up. If you're doing as well as them, then okay, bro. I'm not gonna complain about you doing your weed, bro.
through the week, and it's take a shower once, rage on Valorant, goon to Sophie Rain, then smoke 7 times. If you're not one of those productive people using it, then you can't say it. And you'll also never
Exactly.
be as productive as someone sober in that time. It's so bad, you got who will work the whole week, then half of their paycheck is going to some rolling papers in that flight duck pack. I think the reason why the rise of addictions and smoking weed is because it's so easy to access nowadays. They got whole apps meant to deliver strains to people, and you can go on Snapchat and
That's
casually
crazy.
see 10 dealers in a 1-mile radius. Back then, people were scared of getting caught, especially when the internet wasn't a thing. Plus, it was a lot more penalized, so people didn't take the risk. Next, we got gooning. I already made a whole video on this, so we don't gotta spend a lot of time on this. But the algorithms
Damn.
nowadays, more than ever, are meant to fuel horniness. Like, have y'all ever opened
Hey,
your
it's true. It's true, bro. Literally everything has been made to suit horniness, bro. I'm gonna be real. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, any other form of social media. If you're a good-looking girl, I'm telling you, all these gooners, they're gonna flock to you, bro. And it's not even your fault. You can't even do nothing about it. It might help for a while. You might get more views and stuff, but like they're not there for the right reason, and they ain't helping. But that's just the way it is, bro.
Instagram feed or
That's just the way
TikTok
it
feed,
is.
and they're literally throwing it in your face. No matter how many times I click not interested, it doesn't work. I think they have the button there just for fun. The best platform I see optimized where I don't see it is YouTube, because my algo was built brick by brick. It still happens,
Yeah.
though, trust me. Like,
YouTube's
somebody
probably
watching
the
this probably got
safest.
some freaky AI chatbot ad. But on Instagram and TikTok, they purposely don't listen to me. I just want one person to do some research on these algorithms and see if they got a horny piece of code written in there. A lot of people also talk
I think they keep it in there because they know it's gonna make them money. Because I feel like some of these people that are purposely making this content for horny people, they're like putting ads and stuff. So it makes more sense for them to be pushed out more, so that everyone gets paid more. Basically, that's the way I see it.
about why were we so sexual at a young age, which is kind of true, you know, when I think about it. It's a mix of things. One being the internet, although it's not as bad as
Anaconda
now.
video.
Like a Gen Alpha kid with
that did-
unmonitored access in 2020.
The Anaconda video that did irreparable damage, bro, to society. I'm gonna be real. Irreparable damage, bro.
25 is probably gonna win this corn at the age of 7. Probably a mix of us looking at these Disney stars when we were kids and thinking of some freaky. The crazy thing to me was the shift of how OS
I didn't know
stars
people
and
were doing
porn
that.
stars were perceived. Back then, I remember when a girl got leaked, it was the worst thing to happen to her life. Like her whole sacred temple was exposed to the world, or just somebody ousted as doing that line of work. They would never want that info out. But nowadays, if you see a link tree in that bio, it's like a Russian roulette of if you'll see an OnlyFans link or not. It's just a casual thing now to see.
It's not even Russian roulette at this point, bro. It's like I want to say 50, but it's probably a bit higher percent chance that like they've got like an OF or something there. Let's be real now.
See someone naked online. Never in my life growing up I would think someone I went to high school with would start one, but I'm about 0 to 3 wrong, so good thing I didn't put a bet on that. Oh, and speaking of bets, gambling is next. Parlays have by themselves ruined the financial dreams of millions of Gen Z. Because with parlays, it feels like you're not putting much up, and if you already hate your job or you're trying to make it out, you're gonna take the risk and throw in something you can lose, like $10 or $20. But that ends
true,
up
bro.
adding up, and as you keep losing, you end up losing like half your week's salary over some stupid ass prediction. My opinion is sports gambling is way more of a problem for us than traditional gambling. Like I feel like that was a
Yeah.
problem more back then. Although we definitely got our addicts for that too. Kick as a platform is pretty much meant as a funnel to stake where you can play slots to your heart's desire. Sports betting wouldn't even be that bad if everyone doing it actually had the disposable income too. But there should be no reason your whole paycheck is going on a bet. And it's really hard to stop
that's
because
true,
when
that's
you
true.
do get those wins, you always think you could get one potentially with another bet. And I don't know about
That is true. And what makes it worse is that, bro, a lot of these sports, they're pushing this sports betting in your face, bro. Like if you watch football, you see in different teams like in the Premier League, they've got sports betting on their shirts, bro. You got like actual proper advertisements coming in that are talking about sports betting. Like you can't escape it in sports at this point. And even on like TikTok and stuff, you'll see it, bro. It's everywhere. And then once you win once, you're thinking, oh, I can win again. Or let me just play one more time. It's actually that mining picture that they showed before, bro. That's the way I
No,
see
but
it.
I've been getting a whole lot more of sports betting app ads a lot. It makes no sense too because I live in
I've never
Texas,
gone an
I can't
app
even
for the
fucking
ads,
gamble
bro.
here. So why are they even pushing it here when it's banned? Like, it makes zero sense to me. It's almost like they know people can use VPNs to do it anyways. And they be giving some crazy ass bonuses just for you to join and make a single bet. Like, who wouldn't take a free $100 to bet for just a tiny risk of forever being indebted to the app and watching every single one of the 500 bets you made in the past week? Just a tiny risk though. The sports betting industry growth is so insane when you look at the chart.
That is insane, bro. In 2018, 200 mil. And then what? Well, right now it should be somewhere in the middle. I'm guessing it's about like 5 to 6 mil. No, billion. 5 to 6 billion. That's insane. I don't even know what percentage increase that is. That's crazy.
7 years ago, it was only $209 million, and now it's around $4 to $6 billion. If this ain't an indication of a recession, then I don't know what is. People's doing anything to get money. I guarantee there's some dads out there risking their paycheck and if their kids get to eat, just to see if the bet will hit of LeBron getting over 40 points.
Bro, some people are putting their house, they're putting stuff down that they can't be putting down on these bets, bro. It's worse than just a paycheck, bro.
Next, we got caffeine. And it's time to be open and honest, y'all. This is probably the thing I match closest with. My excuses, though, I only take pre-workout on days I work out, which is 5 days in a week. Not really a good excuse, though, but trust me, I can quit anytime. I just need a little powder sprinkled in my toothpaste to get my bones jolting. Caffeine addiction is probably the easiest one to get because when you're tired in a day and need a little boost, it's one of the few legal substances you can take to boost your energy. Sadly, they banned the original Coke formula, but I've heard there's ways to get around it. It also doesn't help that on TikTok,
Yeah, the original Coke formula, that had like cocaine in there as well. And, like, that was crazy, bro. And that was allowed to be sold. Like, how did they get around that?
people will post their favorite coffee recipes or drink they got at Starbucks. Then people run to the store to get the exact same one to see what the hype is about. Everybody all
I don't understand the hype for. Actually, to be fair, I understand the hype for coffee. Coffee tastes nice and all. Like all those drinks, they taste nice and all. But caffeine, I'll be real. Caffeine don't do nothing for me. I don't know if it's just me. I've had like 2 espressos one day. I was still able to basically fall asleep like a little bit after. It's not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird and it just don't affect me. Maybe I need to try energy drinks or something. Maybe that'll work a bit better. I don't know, bro. Caffeine, I don't know. I just don't think it works for me.
all of a sudden also started drinking matcha and making matcha everything. Matcha coffees, matcha pancakes, matcha noodles. A couple of years ago,
I've been seeing matcha
you would see
everywhere,
something
bro.
like this and fried you on the internet for even having it. But now all you gotta
Exactly. Bro, I'm telling you, it's because of girls, bro. That's literally it. People only cool with matcha because of girls, bro. If a guy takes matcha, you know someone's girl's cooked here, bro. You know a girl's cooked here. That's literally it. You see matcha? Somebody's cooked.
do was post a trying matcha noodles on TikTok and people will love it just because it's matcha. Where the f did all this matcha talk come from though? Like matcha is cool to me, but how did they get to the point where
I've not
we're
even
facing
tried it, bro.
potential global shortages of it because everyone's having
That's crazy,
Also
though.
having energy drinks is more commonplace now. Like I remember in the past, if you told someone you was drinking energy drinks, they thought you were cooked, providing for 4 different families on a 1-man salary while getting 4 hours of sleep. Every company now for some reason has their own line of energy drinks. Like who is dead ass drinking the toxic waste energy drink and the Sonic the Hedgehog energy drink? Actually that last
That toxic waste one. They're telling you already it's toxic waste and people are still gonna buy it. Sonic though, slap him on it. I might just buy it, bro.
one might not be too bad.
I might just buy it.
I think caffeine addiction is also rising too because a lot more people are sleep deprived nowadays. It's
That
a
is true.
blessing for real if you can get 8 full hours of sleep in this time. So when people are tired, they say, why not? Let me just get 1 energy drink for the day. There is a very big risk with it though, and we can't forget. Energy drinks have only been getting used a lot more in the past 2 decades, so we still don't have long-term studies on their effects. And there's even tragic cases about it, like the case of Katie Donnell. Katie Donnell was a 28-year-old teacher
I might have
and
heard about
fitness
her.
enthusiast, and she always tried to live a healthy lifestyle and had a lot of caffeine through the day as one of the things. She would have 3 energy drinks a day and a caffeine supplement on top of that before going to the
That
gym.
is
And by the way,
crazy.
the
There's no way she thought that was healthy. There is no way.
Recommended max amount of caffeine you're supposed to have in a day is 400 milligrams. Depending on how much caffeine those drinks had, she could have been having like 2x or 3x the daily limit. But even if they were smaller amounts, I think we can all agree that just the sound of having 3 energy drinks a day is insane. And in 2021, Katie had a heart attack and had to be put in the hospital, where 10 days later, she sadly passed away from the effects of it. So if you're near having 3 drinks a day,
hey, rest in peace, Katie, bro. There's no reason for you to be taking 3 energy drinks a day. That don't even sound right. That don't sound like it's good for you. But that death could have been easily avoided.
Day, it might be time to reconsider how many you're having. The best schedule for people that do want to have caffeine is 5 days a week with at least 2 days off it. The more you have it, the more tolerant you get to it. So it's always better to have a little reset just so the effects still hit. It's also a problem too that kids are now starting to have energy drinks. When Prime released energy drinks, there was parents complaining that their kids were having them and it was causing problems. I don't know what type of stress these is even going through to be having energy drinks. I only started drinking them after having some adult type responsibilities. Before 18, I wasn't having them. And once again,
yeah, I'll be real. I don't think I've actually no. I think I've had like 1 or 2 energy drinks in my life. I think the first one I had was like when I was like, I must have been between 15 and 17 probably. I've only had like 1 or 2. So yeah, I don't know why are people taking it earlier now. There's no reason to take it earlier. You're meant to have energy, bro. So just like start eating better if your energy is that bad at that age. That's the only thing I can think of. Or fix your sleep. It's probably your sleep.
Parents strike again at not monitoring their kids, because how do they even get access to these energy drinks? Since I said I only have them when I work out, we might as well throw gym in there as an addiction. Some of y'all might think it's odd that gym is here, but if you see how fitness social media is now, you know how bad it can get. There's been a lot more of a rise in gym influencers since 2020.
Bro, this Jimmy Swole guy, he's like 20, he's like 21 or something. There's no reason for him to be this jacked. Like, you're taking it too far, bro.
I'm glad the gym is becoming way more popular though, because in general it's good for everyone's health. But the lengths some people take to look like some of the influencers online is unbelievable. It's universally known now that a lot of influencers online straight up use performance enhancing drugs to look the best. One of the biggest known cases I would say is The Rock. Everyone knows for his physique at his age, it's almost impossible for him to look like this without taking some type of performance enhancing.
Exactly. How old is The Rock? Let me check. How old is he? Let me search The Rock age. This nigga 53, bro. There's no reason for him to be this buff. 53, damn, bro. What the hell?
He always denies it and says he doesn't use them, which no one believes. Because
yeah,
when
he's
your
a liar.
job is to look the best, a lot of these influencers and celebs feel like they have no choice but to take them to keep up with everyone. And people in the gym community point out all the time who may be fake or real. One of the biggest gym influencers on YouTube's job is literally predicting from years of experience what influencer or celeb transformation is real or fake. But even if the influencers doing it are natural, it's never good to compare yourself because their entire job is meant to look good. Like, they can spend hours at a time in the gym every day to look like that. Meanwhile, the average person usually gets out of school or work and can have 1 or 2 hours max. And it leads to people thinking they have to take the same drugs those influencers are taking. Nowadays, there's people who will show their journey through taking steroids or testosterone casually. I guess it's kind of good they're
not just that. There's people doing that as a kid, bro. I've seen like early, not even teens, bro. Between 10, maybe 10 and 13, bro. There should not be kids at that age trying to compare themselves to grown adults that have been training for like 6 years or something, or taking these performance enhancement drugs and thinking, yeah, let me hop on that as well, because that's gonna stunt their growth. And they don't be talking about it. Like, it's not good for them.
they're being honest, but like, can you imagine people did this for any other drug? Imagine a meth addict showing their journey of taking it through the years. And the people taking these drugs are getting younger and younger because they look
Exactly,
up to
that's
the
what I'm
guys,
saying,
ruining
bro.
their whole body before it even got time to fully develop. It's okay to accept the fact that you probably won't reach their level, and if you do, it'll just take you significantly longer, which is fine. Like, bro, you
Exactly.
got decades of your life to reach that type of build if you want to. You don't gotta rush it.
Like, you need to take it slow when trying to build up your body. Make sure you do it naturally, so that's the most healthiest way. And make sure you're not doing anything too crazy. Make sure you take care of your body. You're sleeping well. You're exercising properly, proper form, and you're eating well as well. You don't need to take no drugs, bro.
When you're young. And the reality is, you probably won't even want to keep up with that type of physique because it'll be too much work. The last category
Yeah,
we got,
that's
which
true.
90% of my
Bro, you can keeping up that physique past like probably your, I'd say 30s to mid 30s. That's a struggle, bro. Most people do not have it after the mid 30s.
audience will relate to is unemployment. Unemployment is the new cool lifestyle that everyone's getting
Yeah, man.
into.
I'm 34.
34?
like that.
Okay, what do you do?
Like that
I
lifestyle.
am a risk taker. I'm a road runner. I'm an entrepreneur.
I mean, think of it. You can nibble off of someone else's work for free while laying down on a couch and watching your favorite TV show. Society's become so cooked that anyone who quits their job or anyone who's applied to
Hey.
more than 5 and got
At least he's censored it, bro. I'm happy he censored it. Because otherwise, that might have been scarier than the Five Nights at Freddy's I was playing earlier, I'll be real.
denied, just give up and decide to live that lifestyle. You even mention the word job to certain and they start quivering in fear for their life. You know what? I'm feeling pretty evil today. Let's go ahead and go on a TOS run to get me packed out of here real quick. And I do want to put a disclaimer. What you're about to hear may be disturbing. Job,
Oh.
employment, working, career, business, profession,
I'm already
operation.
Bro, chill.
I feel free being able to say what I want. I feel like
Oh,
the world is in the palm of my hand.
chill.
For some reason, even though it feels like no one is getting a job now, we're actually reaching low levels of employment, well, at least compared to 2020. Moment of silence for all my who were looking for a job during COVID. Glad that wasn't me,
Yeah.
because God
Getting a job with COVID, that must have been tough, bro. That must have been tough. Well, what jobs could you even get at that point? Everything had to be online. Bro, half the people, a lot of people they lost their jobs. So even to get employed back then, it was a
knows where
tough
I would
time.
be right now. The thing that's doomed Gen Z is as soon as finally started to get their degrees and get ready for the real world, AI had to advance at levels we never thought possible. I might have
Yeah,
to make a
man.
video on just this alone. Man, we all thought AI would take jobs like fast food and have robots flipping burgers, but that's it. Now you got AI that can code entire websites for free. You got AI that automatically run YouTube channels
It's
and generate
true,
them
bro.
unlimited money. And for us, it was a big rush of people getting STEM degrees because everyone was saying that was the speed run to get a 6-figure job. It's great to know that all those degrees are completely useless now that those
Yeah,
jobs are
man.
taken by AI. So no wonder
It's
everyone's
tough,
giving
bro.
up and
It's tough. Bro, I had to use ChatGPT and DeepSeek to help me with my degree, bro. Like, I didn't use it too crazy. I kind of used it just to get the foundations. But still, bro, it has it. Well, we're cooked, man. We're cooked.
are embracing their
That's the
unemployment.
best way
And
I
when
can say it.
GTA 6
We
drops,
cooked.
mark my words, will quit their jobs just to have time to play this once-in-a-lifetime game. I'm truly scared
That's
for the
true.
job market in that moment. Hospitals are going to be empty from
That
doctors
is very
and nurses
true.
trying to finish the GTA 6 storyline. So anyways, that's about it. If you don't align close to any of the things I mentioned, then congrats, you're one of the special ones. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.
All right, first. Yeah. No, moral of the story. Don't get addicted to stuff, guys. Don't get addicted.